Hey everyone, it's Penny Plouts, and it's day 8 of the 8 days of coaching. And here's what happens on the 8th day of coaching. Just when you think you know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. So last night I discovered that I could do Facebook Live on my MacBook Pro, and tonight I thought I could do the same thing, and it did not go well. So it just blacked out. So I don't know if you started to watch and then it blacked out, but that's what happened to me. So we always have a backup, because that's a good coaching theme is you know, just because something works one time doesn't mean it's always going to work another time. But we always have a backup plan, and not just plan A or plan B, but the whole alphabet plan. I like to say having a whole alphabet plan, because you just never know when one of those letters are going to go rogue. So anyway, today, hey Trinessa, it's great to see you. So tonight the coaching tip is this: don't rely on your memory. And what I mean by that is, when you start doing things, when you start making some changes and you reach your goal, it's really easy to forget how far you've come. Like, you might be in a lot of pain, or you might have some financial struggles, or you may be in a relationship mess, or you could have all sorts of things happening when you first get into coaching, and then you work through it and you figure it out, and then after a while you forget that you even had those problems, and you think, well, that coaching might not be for me, because you forgot that you already figured out your problems and worked through it. So what I like to encourage everyone to do is just to keep a journal or a notebook, or maybe even take some pictures. You know, those when you always see those before and after, and then, you know, the after is always so glowing. And hey Glenn, thanks for coming. And Lauren here, Loretta, hello Lauren, how are you, sweetheart? So I am talking about the tip that we call don't rely on your memory. So what that means is that we're going to write things down, we're going to keep a journal, we're going to just keep remembering how far we've come, because especially when we're in pain, we're so intense and we think, oh, we're never going to get through this. Hey Gilbert, thanks for joining me. We had a little snafu happen just a little while ago. I was trying to do this on my laptop, and the whole screen went blank. I don't know, it could be the jingle bells on my hat and the glowing tree in the background. I don't know, it might just be too much for my electronics right now. So anyway, I'm back on my phone so I can see your very little writing. So if I say the wrong name, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to not use my reading glasses. But anyway, so the tip today is on day 8, the 8th day of coaching, is this: don't rely on your memory. We want to keep notes. And Gilbert, I know that you just got a new sketchbook and a new journal, so that you can record your progress. Because what's amazing, I mean, it's December, what is it today? It's December 14th. And yeah, I'm glad you can be here. Yeah, and so many things have happened this year. I know for me, it's been like one of those off the charts year where it was very, very exciting. I made a lot of leaps and bounds, and it was very exciting. But to go back and remember where I was when I started, that's always helpful. So I always do this thing at the end of the year called a year-end review, and then I also name and claim what I want in the new year. And what's helpful when you do this review is if you've been taking notes all along, if you've been journaling, if you've been somehow keeping a record of where you've been and where you it'll help you when you look at where you want to go. You can see, you know, I feel like once we have an accomplishment and we do something, we hardly ever stop and celebrate that. We just think, okay, now on to the next thing. But it's really important to stop and celebrate. So this is your 2-for-1 night, because last night I sort of went off a script, and I gave you that don't get your tinsel in a tangle. But tonight these two really go well together, so I'm just going to put them together. The one that was your original number 7, and then your number 8, and it's this: don't rely on your memory, and then let's celebrate good times. Come on, right? Who wouldn't want to celebrate good times? So it's just really important, and I think people skip this one a lot because we're always so focused on the prize and where we're going that we forget all the things that we've learned along the way. So I have to say I've learned a lot just in these 8 days of coaching. I mean, I know I'm giving the coaching tip, but boy, I'm learning a lot from all of you, and I'm learning a lot from the technology, and I'm learning a lot from all the hats and the magical powers that the hats have, and which hats are really trickster hats. Like maybe this one I have on tonight pulled that really trick on me, but I said not to worry. I know how to do this. So anyway, nothing can stop me from getting to you. That's what I'm trying to say, because I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm glad that you've been showing up every night to hear the tips. So I'm just wondering if you all can tell me if you have had anything like a success or something major and you totally forgot about it, and then you came across a journal or something, and then you said, oh yeah, right, I was really struggling with that, and now look at me, I'm doing this. So if you've had anything like that, if you want to just send some thumbs up across or some hearts, or I don't know what else you can send. I guess I'm always on this end, so I don't always see what's going on. I know that there's the magic wands and things like that. Hey Morgan, it's nice to have you with us. Thanks so much for joining every night. I've noticed that you've been on, and I really appreciate that. I know that you always were such a great student, and you are such a good mom, and I know that you're always trying to improve yourself, and I really appreciate you jumping on. So thank you, Morgan. And Gilbert, this happened to me, but I've forgotten what. Oh, Gilbert, you are so funny. Yeah, so that's why we don't want to rely on our memory. So tonight's tip is this: don't rely on your memory. If you can keep a journal, just let me know by a show of hearts. If you keep a journal or a sketchbook or just something to record what's going on in your days, because I think when the days go by every day, you can think, oh, it's just the same old, but really you're growing a lot, and it's kind of, yeah, somebody's got some journals going on there. Yeah, that's fantastic, because I just think we don't realize. I have to do one little thing, which is shut. My dog Ruby just came in, and she's known to wreak havoc on a situation. And then, now Emery's here. Emery is a white lab, Ruby's a red lab. Okay, just 1 second. Go dogs, go. Merry Christmas, bye-bye. There they go. I'm back. So, did you see? I did not let them cause mayhem. They just, out they went. So, if you have a dog or a mischief maker in your house, maybe small children or some on the way, you can just show me with some hearts if you have any little mischief makers around you right now. Maybe it's a roommate. Maybe it's a gerbil or a goldfish or something like that, but they tend to be, goldfish tend to be pretty low-key. I know, because I have an whole aquarium, but there's no goldfish, I guess. So yeah, so anyway, keeping a journal, keeping a record. I just think we forget how far we've come in a very short time, and there are always going to be more challenges that frustrate us, and more things along the way that we think, oh my gosh, I have so far to go. But I'd really love for you to celebrate the things that you've done right. And I'd love to hear, if you wouldn't mind, just bragging yourself up a little bit, if you could just tell me maybe one major accomplishment that you've had this year. What do you have to celebrate this year? That's what I'd like to know, because that's the second part of the thing I'm talking to you tonight about, is to celebrate good times. So I'd love to know what you're celebrating. I'm celebrating okay, cats love to walk on the keyboards and type strange messages. Isn't that the truth? Those darn cats. Yeah, it's so funny, because it's like these animals just want to know what we're up to, and they come around in our space, and they want to know what's going on. Yeah, as you recall, last week, I think it was around day 4, when Ruby came in and she said, I want to be on the video, or and knock the screen down. So that was fun. And so cats are mischief. I didn't know you had a cat, Glenn. Do you have one? Do you have 2? Do you have 37? How many do you have? How many cats do you have? Anybody else have animals living in your house? Parrots, goats, turkeys, anything like that? Okay, I'm just gonna imagine that you are surrounded, like you have a menagerie of pets, because that just, yeah, you have 2 cats. Okay. 2 cats. Red is here. Hey. All right. Red is here. Thank you for joining in, Retta. And, you know, I just appreciate this so much. I appreciate that you're here, and Glenn's here, and Gilbert's here, and Morgan's here. And you guys have been consistently watching, and that makes me feel really good because, you know, this is the point in the journey. Probably 2 cats, 1 dog, 8 fish. 8 fish. There you go. Fish are great. Yep. So, yeah, fish can be very calming unless they're naughty, and then I guess, or aggressive like piranhas or something like that. And Gilbert likes to spend a lot of time at the zoo, right, Gilbert? So Gilbert, what's your favorite animal at the zoo? This is what I would like to know. Go ahead, let me know. Maybe it's a rhino, I don't know. But we are talking tonight, Miss Retta, about 2 things, because remember last night, hi Connie, it's nice to have you here. So we're talking about 2 things tonight, 2 tips. The first one is don't rely on your memory, and the second one is celebrate good times. Come on. I love that song. I love that song, so I can't help it. I'm like a 80s weirdo. So from being a mom taxi. Yes. Well, here's what happened, Retta. I tried to go on time on my laptop, and I got on. I said about 2 or 3 things, and then poof, the black screen or the blue screen of death. I don't know what it is. Did I panic? Yes, for a moment. But then I said, wait, I know how to do this. I used to do it on my phone just, 7 nights ago. So I jumped back on my phone and I found the things that I needed to. And so now I'm here and you're here. And so everything is right with the world, that we're all together now. Yeah, and we're talking about our animals. I don't even know how we got on that topic, except, oh, yes, I do. 2 of my animals busted in here. They broke on in here and they tried to steal the show, as they like to do. So, yes, I love these strange birds called scarlet. Oh, and the penguins, of course. Yes, penguins are so nice. They are so nice. I actually was thinking tonight, I have this little tuxedo suit. Well, it's not a suit, it's just a sweater. It's just tuxedo. Hi, Jen. And I was thinking about wearing that. But then I had the idea that I could quite possibly look like a penguin. But then you might say, why does it matter if you look like a penguin? You've been looking like an elf on a shelf all night. So, yeah, there's lots going on, and I have no pride in the costume department. I'm just like trying all these on for size. So anyway, so the tip for today, the coaching tip for today is don't rely on your memory. Make sure you have a journal or a sketchbook or a photo album or something to help you recall where you were when you started the journey and where you are now, because I know every one of you that I know, I have seen you grow so much. I really have. And I don't know if you know how proud I am of you. You are just all doing so well. And I just think that sometimes we forget that we were in so much pain, or we were so financially distraught, or we were just, in this relationship place where, we never thought we'd find love, or we would never want to love again. And, all of these things. And I've seen all of you move through these things. They're hard things. Life is messy and difficult. And you have just done incredible things. And I so appreciate you being part of my group and coming in where we can talk about these things. But I do want to celebrate these things with you tonight. I do want you to know that you are the Christmas miracle. I mean, just the amazing things that you've done so far have been really great. So that's what we're doing. We're making a list, checking it twice, and we're really discovering that you're very nice. Oh boy, there we go. The hoodlums are at it again. I think somebody could be here, but I don't know. My door shut. They're out of the way. So anyway, that's what I just like you to do, because at the end, after next week, we're going to have another surprise situation at the end of the year where we are going to try and do the year in review. And we are also going to name and claim what we want in the new year. So it's going to be helpful for us to remember where we've been and what we've done. So if you haven't kept a journal or a notebook or anything like that, I just want to encourage you to start doing that. Maybe you can put that on your Christmas list. Miss Retta, do you have, do we get the ladies dancing? You know, you get 2 dogs barking, or 3 dogs barking, that's for sure. That's what you get tonight. And oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that, Gilbert, because here's what I want to tell you. And Marie's here. Hi, Marie. Marie is with us come all the way from Australia. So that's a long way for her to show up. Yes, hi, Marie. So you're not going to believe this. You're really not going to believe this, but I'm going to post it in the group so you can see. But you know what was swimming down the lake today, or the river? Yes, that is exactly right. 7 swans swimming. And it's astounding because it happens every year. And I'm thinking, what? Am I seeing things? What's going on here? And truly, 7 swans swimming. Jason, hi. I haven't seen you forever. And talk about superstars doing great things. Jason's doing great things. I think he's written a couple books now and all sorts of things, and he's got a little one. And Veronique, yay, hi Veronique, it's so nice to have you here. And so we're just talking about the 7 swans of swimming that really, I'm not kidding, they were out in the lake or the river right outside my house. When you look outside my window, there is a river. I don't know why I call it a lake, it's really just a river, but there were 7 swans of swimming right at the perfect day. You have a really amazing journal. Oh, cool. Yes, you really should. Yeah. Hi. Oh, thank you, Veronique. It's the Elf on a Shelf hat, I think. I don't know. It just arrived today. I love it when I come home and there's an Amazon package for me, which is pretty much every day. Because it's important that we have the hats. Because, right, Veronique, you can verify this. As coaches, we must wear a different hat. Everybody's different. Everybody we work with is different, and we can certainly wear a different hat so that we can work with you in that way. So yeah, that's the story of my hat. I was going to save that for next week, but we're on week 2, and we've done 8 days already, and you have all been amazing, and you've hung in there and you've listened to me ramble and listened to the dogs bark and seen the swans a swimming and all of that. So yeah, you deserve a new hat every day. So that's that. And so the tip today, and Jody's here. Jody's been coming on every night too, and I love that too. Jody, thank you so much. Here's what we're talking about. Oh, I need to come. Yes, do come see me. I need to see you. I'd love to know what you're up to, Jason. So here's what's happening. We're doing the 12 days of coaching. We do them Monday through Thursday at around 8 o'clock, unless my internet goes out like it happened tonight, but I always have fun. So we have done 8 days Monday through Thursday, and I give you a little tip, and then we try and have a little more fun than me just talking. But I guess one of these days I'm going to invite you all on. There's a new thing that we can do now where I can invite you, and some of you might be terrified of that option, but I can split the screen and you can be there, and then I can see you, and you can show me your Christmas tree, and you can show me your hat, or you can show me whatever. But so tonight the tip is, don't rely on your memory. Write things down. Get a journal, get a sketchbook, get 8 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, Gilbert. I thank you for keeping me on track. I really appreciate that. Usually Becca does that for me. She sits beside me, and if I really go right off the rails, she kind of brings me back on. But thank you. You all can do that too. So 8 p.m. Central Time, and I don't know what time it is in Australia. I think it's like, Marie, did you say it was like 1 o'clock or something there in the afternoon? And not only is it afternoon, but it's like summertime. So that's awesome. Not wintertime, unless you like winter and you like to ski and that kind of thing. So the tip is keep a journal. Remember where you've been so you can celebrate where you are now. Celebrate was the second part of the 2-parter that we were doing tonight. So celebrate good times. Come on. So I'm as I had mentioned before, some of you, most of you, I've known you for quite a while. At 1:30 p.m. in Australia, just in case anybody wants to know, and go there. One day I'm coming there, Marie. I promise. It's one of the, maybe in 2018, so I could put that on my list. So anyway, so what's going to happen, tonight is Thursday, and we're on the 8th day, and we will do, what I'll do this weekend is do a whole recap, and don't worry, and it's nice to have you here. So we're on the 8th day of the 12 days of coaching, and tonight's tip is to keep a journal or a sketchbook or something that you can keep. You can be aware of your progress, because you're awesome. You're doing amazing things, and I think what happens is we forget. We just forget because we're so focused on the prize, and we keep thinking, oh, I did that, but I still have so much further to go, and I have so much more to do. No, just take a minute, breathe deeply, and really celebrate all that you've become this year. I mean, many of you have just blown me away with the things you're doing. I see on Facebook that you're up to great things, and I'm thinking, I know that person. That's pretty awesome. So I guess that's it, because I realized here I tend to ramble, and we did have a little technical issue tonight, but that's okay. We do think it had something to do with the mischievous elf on a shelf hat. So Tom's here. Hey, Tom. See, sometimes this is what keeps me rambling, is because I start to leave and then somebody jumps on it, and I'm so excited to see you and have you joining me that then I just totally don't want to get off because of the screen, because I just want to, talk to you and see what's happening with you. So we're on the 8th day of the 12 days of coaching. Today's tip is to keep a journal. And Tom, I know that you keep a journal because you're a writer. So I should have a journal, and then I say I should have done, and yeah. Don't wait another 10 years, Veronique. Veronique is in Houston. Veronique is also a coach with me. She does amazing things. We do tapping. We do emotional freedom technique. And Veronique works particularly with tapping into wealth. So she's an awesome coach for that. So if you're interested in that, I can get you in contact with Veronique, and she can work her magic with you. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've always been a writer, so I have so many journals, and you can all be my witness. I've said when I die, nobody gets to read them, because people would think I was just terribly depressed because I would always write when I was really sad. And the fact is, I'm not really sad all that often anymore. And so I would, that was my way of venting. But now I really try to write down my inspiration. So I guess you can read my journals in the last year, because, I had these great ideas this year and really moved forward. But, okay, yeah, Jason loves to write too. Yeah, Jason, you've written a book, haven't you? You've done some writing. Yeah, writing is so great. And the thing is, sometimes we write really great stuff. I mean, sometimes I would look in my journal and I'm like, wow, that's really good. Who wrote that? Because I would think, oh my gosh, how, obviously I was channeling at that time and writing stuff, because I wasn't really acting like I knew it. But I try to be really aligned now with what I'm saying and doing and writing and feeling and expressing and the whole thing. But it took a long time. So I don't know. Tom, you might want to chime in. You might have some ideas, because Tom's a writer too. We writers were an odd, eccentric, quirky bunch, but we're fun to have around at a party because we wear these kind of hats and things. I think the dogs just heard my hat jingle, and then that got them all wound up again. So anyway, so yes, that's my tip for you. And hey, you know what? If you I have some journals left over. They're just little itty bitty ones, but if you want one, send me your address and I will send you one. I got them last year at the beginning of the year. They're called Resolve to Evolve, and I got them for my favorite clients. And since you're all on the call or on here with me, I'd be totally willing to send you one if you want one to stash in your purse or your briefcase or your man purse or whatever those things are called. I don't know, but if you need one, you just let me know, because I don't want you to be ever without writing material, because life is so funny and there's so much to write about. And even if you just write down every day one thing that you did well, it's the teeny tiny successes, and you build upon them, and before you know it, you have a whole darn year of doing fantastic things, and then you get to wear the party hat. Party hat. So that's what I've got for you tonight. So I won't be with you over the weekend, because I'm going to be in the Santa's workshop dreaming up some stocking stuffers for you, so we can really celebrate next week. Next week we will be back with tips 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then, oh boy, do I have surprises for you. I really do. So have yourself a merry little weekend, and we will be back on Monday, same bat time, same bat station. And it's been so delightful having you here with me. And I'm really excited about the hat that we've got going on for next week. Veronique, let me just give you a little clue that you might like it, and we'll just leave it at that because it has something to do with Texas. That's all I've got. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's always such a privilege to get to spend a few minutes with you in the evening and recap the day, recap the year, whatever. So I will see you next week. Everybody be great, and I will see you Monday. Okay? Thanks.